camera and I'm going round to sit in my seat.
Okay.
And I keep the volume is quite high on the computer with your question. Okay.
Right. I mean, this is where I'm going to be sitting. You're going to be able to hear me. Oops.
Yes, I can hear you.
Shit.
Can you?
Sorry, that's good. I've just got to adjust my...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine, Simon.
All right.
I just adjust the level on this camera because it's this is bright as shit here. How can I do that? So long since I've been doing camera work, you understand?
Yeah.
I think that's better. Let's have a look. Oh yes, that's much better. Much better. The colour's a bit blue, but that's okay. It's not too blue. And I'm looking at you, and I just want to have the camera there to get rid of that mess in the background. Right. We're going to do the intro first then, Simon, okay?
We're going to do the intro first?
Yes, but my intro to you.
Oh, okay. So...
Including the joke, okay?
Oh, all right.
Yeah. We'll start at the beginning. It seems to make sense.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so... good morning to you, Simon.
Good morning.
In fact, it is great to have you here, but in very sad circumstances. Can you... sorry, let's just start that again, because I want you to be able to give your apology first, right?
Yes, yes.
So, let's start again. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning, Paul.
I just think, first of all, I think we deserve to our audience, if you don't mind, to just speak to them a little bit about why you're not here.
Yes, let me apologise to everybody in Johannesburg. Due to unforeseen circumstances at Manchester Airport, I was unable to board the flight. All above board, no problems. But it just put me back by 2 days, and therefore I couldn't make the breakfast. So I apologise very sincerely about that.
But I think what you can also tell the audience is that you and I both have been working very hard throughout the whole weekend to make sure that, if anything, we try and get across more information that's useful to the people in the industry here today.
All right, I'll add that now, shall I? But what I would also like to add is, due to not being able to step on the plane, Paul and myself have spent the weekend working at getting as much information together in a presentable format to make this breakfast presentation even more useful for all of you that are here today.
Right, and I mean, you've been in the retail industry quite a long time. I think it's like 3 decades, and you managed to start off well, Simon, with Tesco, one of the world's largest retailers nowadays. And tell me, put me into the position about how you got to start in retail. I mean, when you sat in your home in England, and the manager, presumably, of the local Tesco rang you, when the telephone rang in your house,
yes,
and he rang you and he said, look, I want to offer you a job in Tesco. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was very surprised, Paul. We didn't have a phone.
But yeah, I should have known I would get that kind of an answer. But first of all, I was wondering then, I believe that you've got something for us that is really very special. We're going in a few minutes now to look at the position in South Africa for retailers, try to give the retailers present here and the suppliers too, everyone in the retail industry, some legs up, some almost exclusive information. Don't want to be too melodramatic about it, but really we've got some information on international trends that people might want to look at. And but you've also, before we get into specifically South Africa, I believe that almost as an extra bonus, you've got a keynote presentation for us on some of the largest retailers in the world, and also some very interesting PowerPoint information. Could you fill us in on that, Simon?
Yes, certainly, Paul. What I've basically got to present in the first part of the presentation is a report I've been working on for the last 6 months with not just SJM, but Cantor Retail, the Grocer, which is a publication, and Manchester Business School in putting together this report, which is really covering global retailing and the top global retailers, looking at how things have developed in other parts of the world, from South America right across to China. The good things, but also the bad things, the things to look out for. So there's a detailed study being put together on this. Retailers have now been ranked in terms of their turnover. This information is very up to date. It goes up to the end of 2010, which you can appreciate is good up to date information. And on top of that, we've been following it through. So we've been doing the business research, but we've also been looking at the undertones within the media of the retail world as well. So we've got some good insight that's come from the Grocer publication, as well as the research done by the consultants and the university, to put together a package which I think is going to be very useful for anyone who wants to get a better handle on what's going on around the world in terms of global retailing. And I wish to read this particular first section of the report rather than talk like this, so that everybody gets all the information. I really would like this information to be carried. So I would prefer to read it to the audience this morning, and then hopefully no one will fall asleep, and then after that, after about 10 minutes, we can get into the meat and potatoes of the South African market and questions and answers.
Yes, and I think there's going to be a lot to be learned. I'm not saying that people should pay so much attention because there's going to be a test afterwards, but I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from the international picture, right, Simon?
Yes, I think there is. I think there'll be some surprises as well. We think of some of these global retailers as having all the answers. They know that they're the biggest and therefore they're the best, and they know what's right and what's wrong in terms of going into this market or that market. That isn't always the case. There are businesses out there. For example, there's a chain or many chains, but there's a particular supermarket chain in the United States who's bigger than any chain in South Africa, and they're just trading out of one state, Florida, with a turnover double the size of the largest turnover in South Africa. So just to give you some real feel for the size of the business.
Sorry, Simon, I'll just get you to stop.
Yep.
That was so fucking brilliant, and I didn't roll tape. How about that?
Oh.
I'm the professional, right?
Yeah, and I've got my battery running down here like crazy.
You better bring Andy Lewis up there because you're going to need it. I'm the television professional. Fucking tape.
Hang on. But I've picked your voice up on mine. Isn't that going to work?
No.
Oh, right.
No.
So I've got to do that again. Do I have to do that again?
No, I'll find a way. I'll
Hang on.
ask the questions to myself, Simon. I can't put you through that again. You were doing it really well.